Is hypnosis mind control? Do I really have power over your mind? If you're one of those people that is worried or have anxiety about doing hypnosis because you're concerned that somehow a hypnotist has some kind of strange power to change or alter your mind in some fundamental way that you will not be able to get back or change, this video is for you. We are going to answer all of those questions and concerns. And please subscribe to this channel. I put out 2 new videos every week specifically about hypnosis, about quitting smoking, and how to change your mind for the better. Let's hop in.
So the big question is, how do smokers like us beat the odds and quit for life? How do we quit with no cravings, no withdrawal, and never ever having a single drag, draw, or puff of a cigarette again? That is the question. And this channel is designed to give you the answers. My name is Ted Bradley, and welcome to The Secret to Quitting Smoking for Life.
Okay, is hypnosis mind control? The very first thing we have to do is we just have to understand a little bit about the mind before we can tackle the answer to the question. Okay, so the first thing I want you to understand is you only have one mind, okay? And you'll often hear us talking about your mind, especially those of us in neuroscience, about your mind as if it's different parts or different pieces, or you have more than one, okay? You don't. We just talk that way because it helps explain, okay? You have one mind. You only have one mind, okay? You have an unconscious mind and you have a conscious mind. And what do I really mean by an unconscious mind and a conscious mind? I don't mean mind. What we really mean is thoughts. You have conscious thoughts and unconscious thoughts. You only have one mind. We can hook your brain up to something called an MFRI machine, and we can measure the neurological activity in your mind, in your brain. We can see an unconscious thought. We can see a conscious thought, okay? We can see them. We can measure them scientifically. We know what is going on when we have a conscious thought or an unconscious thought, okay? So that's all we mean. You have one mind, and we know that we have different types of thoughts that happen in different areas of our brain because we can see the neural activity lighting up when you have them. There is a ton we don't know about the mind, but there is a ton we do know. And when it comes to our conscious thoughts or unconscious thoughts, we know a tremendous amount, okay? So we just need to understand, to answer the question about hypnosis and it being mind control, we just need to have a really basic understanding about our conscious thoughts and our unconscious thoughts, okay? We're gonna go into that in a second in the next slide, but first, I need you to understand the golden rule in neuroscience, okay? About our understanding of how our mind works. Here it is. The golden rule is what our conscious mind does, and it's highly specialized, and it does very specific things, and it does them really well. What the conscious mind does, the unconscious mind cannot do, and vice versa. Okay, when we have conscious thoughts, they are about very specific things. They are our mind doing very specific practical things. When we have unconscious thoughts, it's our mind doing very specific things. Our mind is what we call bifurcated. And I don't mean physically, I mean operationally. What is our mind practically doing? Our conscious mind does certain things and it does them very well, and our unconscious mind does certain things and it does them very well. We are highly specialized. It is why we are so successful as a species. It is separated by something called the critical faculty, okay? What does the critical faculty do? It regulates the difference between these two types of thoughts, okay? That's all we need to know. That's it. We don't need to know anything more. We just need to know that whatever happens in our conscious mind cannot be done in our unconscious, and vice versa. That's it. Okay, you got that part? Step 2. Okay, this is a mind map. This is just a way of explaining what's actually going on. And so now we're going to actually look at, very briefly, what is actually happening in our conscious mind and in our unconscious mind. Okay, so our conscious mind, which is the red area, what's going on here? What is it specialized in? What is it actually doing? Well, it's our will. When we say will, we don't mean willpower, really. What we mean is basically the ability to make a decision. When we make a decision, when we weigh the pros and cons, it happens in our conscious thoughts. You know this intuitively. You do it all the time. Do I want Mexican or do I want Chinese for dinner? And we weigh it. We think about it, okay? Consciously, our thinking thing. It's a conscious thought process. It makes decisions, okay? Our conscious mind has a will and it makes decisions too. The other main thing that our conscious mind does is it's an interpreter. It takes in the outside world all 5 of our senses, okay? And those are its main functions. Our unconscious mind is the blue area. Well, what does it actually do? Okay, well, it's our memories, our imagination, it's where our fantasy is, our habit, our emotion. You can go back and watch my video about what is hypnosis and it will explain this to you in more detail. We're not going to go into that detail here. All I want you to understand is inside our unconscious mind, this is what is actually happening, these things, okay? You'll know this by the simple thing of asking somebody to remember something. Okay, if you ask somebody to remember something that's really easy, like their own name, it's very surface in the unconscious mind. It feels like it's almost instantaneous. Ask somebody something more difficult for them to recall, where they have to search their memories. Okay, what do? They go, and they look up to the right. What are they doing? They're quieting their conscious mind to access their unconscious mind to find the memory. Why? Because the golden rule. We have no memory in our conscious mind. It's physically impossible. It defies the laws of physics. What the conscious mind does, the unconscious mind cannot do, and vice versa. They are separated by something that regulates it called the critical faculty. That's what I need you to understand. Because to answer the question, is hypnosis mind control? We have to understand, what is hypnosis actually doing to our conscious thoughts, our unconscious thoughts? What's really going on? We just have to understand what different types of thoughts actually happen. This is it, okay? It's not a big secret. We've known this for 30 years in neuroscience. Okay, next. So what is really going on in hypnosis? What is hypnosis actually doing? What is happening here, okay? So what we're really doing in hypnosis is we're trying to bring the unconscious mind forward because we're trying to change a habit like smoking. That's what's really going on. And how do we do that? We have to engage the unconscious mind. How do you engage the unconscious mind? You have to engage the things that it does, right? Like it does habit, but how do you engage habit? Very difficult. Memories, imagination. Okay, those are easy things to engage because if we engage those things, the unconscious mind comes forward and starts to participate more actively. And what happens when the unconscious mind is more active? We become more suggestible. So what's really going on here? When in hypnosis, we're bringing the unconscious mind forward so we can become more suggestible. How? By focusing the mind, engaging the imagination, and relaxing. That's all we're doing in hypnosis. We're focusing the conscious mind. The more that your conscious mind becomes focused, for survival reasons, the unconscious mind has to participate more, okay? It's the same as when you are driving home from work and your conscious mind becomes focused on a problem or issue at work. It becomes so focused, but you've driven this way 1,000 times. You get in your driveway and you're like, oh, I don't even remember driving home. That's a hypnotic trance. You focused your mind to solve a problem, to make a decision, which is what your conscious mind does. It weighs things, so the unconscious mind had to come forward and do the habit, the driving home. Try doing that when you're driving somewhere you've never ever been before. Try focusing on a problem from work and getting lost. You won't get to where you're going because the unconscious mind needs habit, having been there 1,000 times before, okay? That's what's going on, okay? So we do this by focusing the mind, engaging the imagination, and relaxing, okay? Hypnosis cannot make anybody do anything they don't want to. Why? Because your unconscious mind is still there. It's still listening, okay? Hypnosis cannot get anyone to do anything they don't want to. Sometimes people think it can because they go to a hypnosis show and they see people barking like a dog or quacking like a duck. It's a misunderstanding of what's actually happening. Here's what's actually happening. Who goes to a hypnosis show? People that want to see hypnosis. I have 50 chairs or 25 chairs behind me, and I say to the audience, who wants to get hypnotized? I don't say, you come up, you come up, you come up. I say, who wants to come up? I invite them up. They come up of their own free will. Who comes running up on stage at a hypnosis show? People who want to get hypnotized. People who want to quack like a duck and bark like a dog. That's what's actually happening here. Why am I saying people back down? Because some people respond more quickly. And I don't want to keep somebody up on stage that's going to take me 20 minutes to put into a hypnotic trance. I just keep someone who's going to take me 2 minutes. So I just keep the cream of the crop, the people that are reacting the quickest. It's not that I can't hypnotize the people I'm sending down, okay? It's that either they're not willing and they're just up there to see if you could actually do it, but they don't really want to be doing it, or it just takes longer to get them into hypnotic trance. That's all that's happening. So you cannot get anyone to do anything they don't want to do in hypnosis. It's impossible, okay? Hypnosis is not mind control. I cannot reach in your mind and change something, okay? I can barely control my own mind, let alone someone else's mind. That's not what hypnosis is at all. It's a complete misunderstanding. It's something that has been perpetuated by the media and by magicians for magical effect, but it's just not real, okay? It is not mind control, okay? It's just relaxing, focusing the conscious mind, engaging the unconscious mind by using your imagination. That's why we often say, imagine this. It brings the unconscious mind forward. That's all that's going on here. All we're really doing is the conscious mind says, I don't want to smoke, I don't want to smoke, I don't want to smoke, I don't want to smoke. The unconscious mind has a habit of smoke, feel good. They're incongruent. They're going in two different directions. All that's going on here is we want to bring the unconscious mind forward so we can tell it, no, smoke don't feel good, so that we can align the two in the same direction. But you have to want to, okay? So remember, hypnosis is natural. We do it all the time. You do it all the time, every day. Look at a 5-year-old watching cartoons. They are zoned out. You can say, come to dinner, and they're just staring at it. Their conscious mind can hear you saying, turn the TV off, but they are just in a hypnotic trance. You have to snap your hands or do something to bring them out of it, okay? That's all it is. You cannot hypnotize someone to do something they don't already want to do. It's impossible, okay? You're always in control, and it's really about reasserting that control so that you can consciously get what you already want. That's all that's really going on here in hypnosis. It's bringing the unconscious mind forward so that you're more suggestible, so that we can align it with your conscious desires. That's all hypnosis is. That's it. So is hypnosis mind control? No, it is not mind control. I cannot reach in your mind and change it in some way that you don't want. All I can do is help you learn to relax. I can help you focus your mind, and I can help bring your unconscious mind forward so that you become more suggestible, so that we can line it up with what you consciously want. That's all we can do. It is not mind control. We cannot change your mind in some fundamental way. All we can do is when your conscious thoughts and your unconscious thoughts are incongruent, all we can do is help you by making you become more suggestible to get them both going in the same direction so that you get what you want in your life. That's it, okay? It's totally harmless, hypnosis. It is totally harmless. It's an incredible effective way to align your conscious thoughts and your unconscious thoughts. That's it, okay? It's simply a tool that allows you to get the desired change you want in your life. So if you have any concerns about hypnosis, it's okay, it's natural to be concerned, but just know it's totally natural. Nobody, no hypnotist, no matter how good they are, can get you to do anything you don't want to do. Nobody can control your own mind, only you can. That's why the best definition of hypnosis is all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Okay, remember I told you if you stay to the end of this video, I would give you a powerful demonstration of your unconscious mind and how it's always present and how powerful it is. It is very simple. Here's all I want you to do. I want you to take your 2 hands like this, interlock your fingers, just like that, okay? See? And all I do is pull your fingers apart and keep them apart. Hold them, keep your fingers apart. See how easy that is? Okay, that's easy because your conscious mind has made a decision to do that. But what happens if we engage your unconscious mind and we bring it forward and we make suggestions? Like, we're going to suggest that your fingers are going to want to go together. How are we going to do that? We're going to get your conscious mind to focus, and then we're going to ask you to use your imagination and watch how hard you have to work to keep your fingers apart. Right now, you can do it easy peasy. No problem, right? Boom. Okay, but we haven't really engaged your unconscious mind. So let's do that. Here's all I want you to do. In a minute, I'm going to get you to stare at the space between your fingers, but not yet. Here's all I want you to do. Okay, take a deep breath in and out, and just start to relax. Good. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out and relax. Just start letting go, because you're just here to have an experience. You can have that experience by just allowing yourself to start to relax. As you breathe in and breathe out, just start to relax. Good. Good. Now here's all I want you to do. Take a deep breath in and out. Open your eyes. And all I want you to do is squeeze your hands, pull your fingers apart, and stare at the space between your fingers. Don't look at the screen anymore. Stare at the space between your fingers and notice your unconscious mind. Use your imagination and imagine two magnets, one on each finger. Use your imagination and imagine those magnets pulling together. And use your imagination. Stare at the space between your fingers. Stare and focus all of your attention. Focus all your attention between your fingers. And imagine those magnets pulling together. And notice how hard you have to work to keep your fingers apart. Squeeze your hands together and focus all of your attention between your two fingers. And imagine those magnets pulling together. And just notice how it gets harder. And the more you try to keep your fingers apart, the more they want to go together. Good. And stop. So what you will have noticed, originally when I said just pull your fingers apart, it was easy. But when you stared at the space between your fingers and you focus your attention there, and you use your imagination to imagine magnets on the tips of your fingers, notice how they want to go together. Okay? What you'll notice is what's happening is your unconscious mind is coming forward. And your unconscious mind, it doesn't have a will, remember? It has to follow. So what's happening is as you use your imagination, your unconscious mind wants to follow and have your fingers go together. Okay? All we're doing here is we're bringing your unconscious mind forward. We're putting you in a state of being more suggestible. That's it. That's all hypnosis is. It is bringing your unconscious mind forward so that you can have an experience of the power of how it actually works. That's all we're doing here. Okay? That's all hypnosis is. And that is essentially how you can learn to hack your own brain to get what it is you consciously want and desire. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to it. Subscribe to this channel. Join my Facebook page. And thank you so much for your time and attention.